Session. So you can understand how an Excel file can actually help you a lot in your work if it's related to some calculation or auditing or something like that, right? So also during this session, if you guys have any are new to the Excel world, like how they have never used Excel or they just know what the software is for and what are its uses. So basically, this session is for a complete new beginners, and we'll be demonstrating a few good functions of Excel also, wherein you can understand how an Excel file can actually help you a lot in your work if it's related to some calculation or auditing or something like that, right? So, also during this session, if you guys have any doubts or queries with respect to the topics or the scope of the topics that is being discussed today, I'll be looking into the live chat and after every small modules, I'll be looking into the chat for clarifying your doubts. So please feel free to ask any queries with respect to the topics that has been discussed today. All right. Okay, so coming to the learning agenda for today's session, we'll be first taking up what is a formula in Excel, wherein we'll be understanding what exactly does a formula in Excel mean to you guys, okay? And then we'll be understanding how to enter the formula. So we'll be going understanding what's the formula, and we'll be moving to the live Excel workbook and understanding how exactly does we how exactly do we input a formula in Excel. So after that, we'll be understanding the precedence order of operators. So basically, the precedence order means the topmost priority of operators that we are going to be using. So basically, there is multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So we'll be understanding what is the particular order in which Excel accepts these operators. All right. Then we'll be further moving ahead with the demonstration of how to enter, copy, edit, and hide a formula in Excel. So that will be a complete live workbook session on Excel, wherein we'll be doing everything like entering the formula, and we'll be copying the formula in different ways. We'll be editing the formula in different ways, and also we'll be even showing you to hide a formula in Excel, right? So after that, we will be ending up with the formula part and we'll be moving step ahead. We'll be moving up and understanding what exactly is a function in Excel, right? So we'll be understanding what exactly a function is in Excel, how a function looks like in Excel, and what is its purpose. And then we'll understand what are the different ways that you can view, search different functions provided in Microsoft Excel. Right. Then finally, we'll be discussing a lot more of more than six basic functions. I have added a few for this session. So hold on tight and stay tuned till the end of the video because the end of the video we'll be discussing entirely a lot more functions that will be discussed on the live workbook, and you'll have a proper understanding of how these functions actually help you a lot in your day-to-day works. Right. All right, guys. So let's get started with our first module, that is what is a formula in Excel. So basically, a formula in Excel is an expression that operates on values in a range of cells or a cell, right? Now, you might be wondering why am I talking about formula to you guys? Because formula is something that most of us know, which we are almost associated from our childhood days, like mathematical formula, right? But to understand formula in Excel, it's basically related with the range also. So when you have to understand formula in Excel, you also need to understand what is a range, all right? Now, on your screens, it's written a range is a rectangular box of selected cells. A range is identified by the name of the cell in the upper left corner of the range and the name of the cell in the lower right corner of the range. So, To select a range, you just have to drag across the cell, and your range will be selected as a selected number of boxes, right? Now, for example, if I had to explain this concept to you, I have taken two screenshot of this Excel workbook. In the first screenshot, it's showing that the red colored box, that is the range. That is what is showing the range. And how do you name a range? So before we understand what is a range, you need to understand what is a cell in Excel, right? So basically, for the beginners out there, a cell is a box. This box of grids that has been showing in the Microsoft Excel is known as cell, wherein a lot of data can be entered. Now, how do we name a cell, right? So naming a cell is basically the name starts with the column name, and then it follows with the row, right? So the name of the cell of this particular cell is called A1 because it is the intersection point of this column and the first row. Now, if you have to talk about the middle one here, it is like the column number B and the row number 2, right? So this cell is called as B2. Now, now that you have understood, uh, so now that you have understood how to name a cell, we will go ahead and understand how a range is named. So basically, if we have to name a range, in the definition it's written that it is identified as the name of the cell of the upper left corner. So the basically upper left corner, this is A1, right? So this is the cell wherein the range starts, and it is also put with the colon, and it is ended with the name of the cell in the lower right corner of the range. So basically, lower right of the selected cell is this one. So what is the name of the cell here? It is B3, right? So this is B3. So how do we name the range? That is A1 colon B3. Now, I want you guys to put it on the live chat that what will be the name of the range that is in this box. So this box is the red highlighted one. I want you guys to put in what will be the name of the range that will be coming up here. So I'll be checking the live chat for answers. All right, Pavan Shukla, that's the right answer. A5 colon C6. Exactly. So that's how that is the column A intersecting with the row column 5, and that's what A5, and the lower right corner of the range, that is C6, and the column C and the row 6. Yes, Ankit and Sumant, you both are also right. So good guys, good guys. Nice, nice. I can see a few more answers coming up. Very good, guys, very good. Shravanti, it's A5C6. All right, you have actually confused a bit. It's the first it comes the like the upper left corner comes first, and the lower right corner comes in the next with the colon in the middle. I hope you have understood, Sravanti. Yeah, yes, yes, guys, yes, nice, nice. Supriya, Anusha, Gaming Zone, a nice name. All right. So now that you have understood what exactly a range is, now we'll be understanding a formula, right? Now let's move ahead and understand how to enter a formula on a live workbook. Now, the basic thing that Excel needs to understand that a user is trying to enter a formula is with the respect to the equal to sign. So the equal to sign is the basic differentiator that actually helps the Microsoft Excel to understand that a user is trying to enter a formula. Now, if I had to take the example that I've put in, two examples, two sample screenshots that I've put in. So the first sample example, I have put 22 plus 44 plus 55. Now, why is this the incorrect way? If you guys know the answer, do put it in the chat box. And why is the second example shown as the correct way? Like in the second example, it is equal to 22 plus 44 plus 55. If you can differentiate between these both, I would be really happy that you are actually very, very observant in what is the difference. In that sample screenshot that I've shown, there is two differences that you can see actually on the screenshot. If you guys can point it out on the live chat box, you can. I'll really give a call out or shout out to you guys. Okay, so all of you have identified one feature that is missing in the correct and in between the incorrect and the correct way. What is the second difference that you guys can actually find out? There is two differences. One is the equal to sign that you guys have absolutely nailed it. Like, yeah, most of you have nailed it. I can just Pawan Shukla is the first one to nail it. Then Mrityanj Pathak, Divanshu, Shravanti, Anchal, Ankit. What is the second thing that you can see? What is the second difference? Yes, yes, I can see that. Ankit, very good find. The sum formula is missing. Basically, now what Excel actually understood is that when equal to sign was put in the Excel workbook, Excel understood that the user is trying to create a formula. Then when we put a plus sign, it understood that it was a sum formula. So basically here you can see that when we entered 22 plus 44 plus 55, it was just showing the name of the cell, right? And the other difference here was in the correct way when as an user you applied equal to and put the formula that is 22 plus 44 plus 55, the Excel understood the user is trying to put in a formula and recognize that the formula is a sum formula and named the cell and the constituting cell as sum. So that's a very good find, Ankit. Very good find, very good observation. So I hope you have understood that equal to sign is one of the most important factor in differentiating a formula from a normal cell, right? So in the incorrect way, if you just miss out the formula, Microsoft Excel is just going to regard this as a text message. Okay, right. So next, let's understand how are the two ways that you can actually enter a formula. Basically, the two ways to enter a formula is by using the actual values and by using cell references. So in the sample screenshots that I have kept for you guys, it is the scorecard of a bunch of students that are studying in the school with having some few subjects like English, Maths, Physics, Chemistry, and Biology. And faculty is actually taking care of their record and understanding what is the total mark that a student might have received out of the five subjects, right? So excuse me. So basically, the faculty can use to calculate the total marks of a student using two ways in Excel. Now, if she can use it by using the actual values, or she can use it by using the cell references. Now, let's directly move ahead to the live workbook and understand how is this done, right? All right. So this is the live workbook that I was talking about, the Excel workbook. These are the cells. This is the table of content wherein the marks of the students are found out. Now, as the faculty, she wanted the total score of Ram for the five subjects that he has attended the exams for, right? So to calculate the score, we need to create a formula. So the first thing that goes into creating the formula is hitting the equal to sign, right? Now hitting the equal to sign and then calculating the sum. So 89, 89, then we hit a plus, then 84, then we hit plus 90, 91, and 90. Right. So when we hit enter button, you can see that the total sum was getting calculated. That is 444. That's how the formula was created. Like if we can recall, this is the place where you can see the formula. That is 89 plus 84 plus 90 plus 91 plus 90. That is the scores that was got by Ram. Right. Now, if I had to calculate this in a different manner. Right. So if I had to calculate this as with respect to cell reference, so this is where we used the actual values of the scores of what RAM scored, right? Uh, Actual values of the actual values of what Ram scored, the scores of what Ram had acquired, right? Now we are going to calculate the score with respect to cell reference. So we are going to put equal to, and then we'll take this as the cell reference, put the plus sign, then we'll take the next cell reference, hit the plus sign, we'll take the next cell reference, repeat, repeat the last one, and hit on the enter button. So this is the second method wherein we are using to calculate the total score that was acquired by RAM for the five subjects. Now the difference is that we use the references of the cell that was the scores of English, maths, physics, chemistry, and biology that RAM had scored to calculate, and here we use the actual values of the scores of RAM that he had actually acquired, right? So this is the major difference that we can get to know. Now, think about a scenario like the faculty, while entering it into the Excel sheet, she mistook the mark of RAM of physics to 90. Instead of 76, the faculty by mistake put 90. So the faculty got to know that she had entered the value wrong. So she is now going to replace the value as 79 and hit on the enter button. Now, did you guys observe what happened? I'll just repeat once again. So this was 90, right? So when this was 90, the total sum was 444, and here also it's 444. Now the faculty got to understand that Ram had actually scored only 76 in his physics paper. So the since she had already found out, she is going to change the value to 76 and hit on the enter button. Now, if you observe the total when calculated by cell referencing was automatically changed, and the total which was calculated by the actual values didn't change. So that's the beauty of using cell referencing for calculating the total or while using any formula. So what is happening here is the cells, the formula which we calculated using cell references was dynamic in nature. So whatever values that we update in the cells which is referenced will automatically add up or will change the total desired outcome of the formula. So if we change the value of here to 55 and see this changes to 394, right? So that's how cell referencing plays a very important role for dynamically changing. So this is a very small data, right? This is this data of only five students. Now think about the situation wherein you have to calculate the data of thousands and hundreds of students. So this will be a very hectic task, right? So you'll have to enter manually so many data, and for by mistake you entered a few calculations wrong, and then you went there and again changed the values. So when you are using the cell referencing method, it will be very easy. It will be automatically calculating the total. But if you are using the actual values and calculating the formula total marks, it will be very, very difficult because you will have to manually enter the change the value, and we'll have to change the formula as well manually. So that's a very big difference of using the two ways of applying the formula. right? I hope you guys are understanding this very clearly. And if you guys have any queries regarding this topic, please put it on the chat. I'll be looking into the chat regularly. Okay, Supriya, if we put the equal to sign only, the sheet will give us the answer. Um, Supriya, if you could rephrase the question if it's a doubt, I couldn't understand what you're actually meaning. Pawan, if there is a formula, then it will calculate automatically. Yes, yes. You might be referring to the cell referencing, right? If there is a formula, that will calculate automatically. You are right. Yes, Pawan, you are right. All right. So I hope you guys have understood till now. Let's move ahead to our presentation. Okay. Right. Now, so the next thing that I would like to talk about is the precedence order of operations, right? Now, the mathematical operations in Microsoft Excel works on the principle of BODMAS or PEDMAS. So BODMAS is something familiar term you guys might have heard, that is the brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. And PEDMAS is basically Elias name for brackets, that is parenthesis, and an extra term that comes in is the exponential, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction, right? Addition and subtraction, right? So why is this BODMAS and PEDMAS very much important for Microsoft Excel? So basically, when you're working on a good amount of operators, when in a single cell, when you are operating on a exponential operator or a division operator or multiplication operator, addition operator or subtraction operator, Microsoft Excel might be a little bit confused that which operation should take place first, right? So if you are adding, multiplying 25 into 30 divided by 4 divided by 3 into minus plus 1, 2, 3. So there is a basically a syntax. You can see a rule that Microsoft Excel works on. So basically there is a priority for the operators that is being discussed over here. So in Microsoft Excel, the exponential operator that you can see as the inverted up arrow, that is the exponential operator, has the most highest priority. Then comes the division operators, followed by multiplication, then addition and subtraction. So this is the hierarchy or the high priority that Microsoft Excel gives to the operators that are being used in the particular cell, right? Now, why have I circled or boxed up the addition and subtraction in the red box is that both rank equally and go left to right. So, which is the first operator that Microsoft Excel gets accounted to? That operation takes place if the Microsoft Excel first gets the addition operation, it completes the addition operation and then moves ahead with the subtraction operation. Or if the Excel finds out first the subtraction operation is happening, it will complete the subtraction operation and then it will add the next number with the addition operation. So whichever goes from left to right, whichever the Microsoft Excel first identifies is what is going to be calculated, right? So parenthesis of exponential, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. That is, the priority goes from up. The upper one is the highest priority, and the lower one is the lowest priority, right? Right. Okay. So if you guys have any doubts, please do put it on the live chat. I am looking into the live chat regularly. All right, guys. So now we'll be moving ahead with the demonstration of how to enter, copy, edit, and hide a formula, right? So let's directly move into the live workbook. Excuse me. So here, so we have already understood how to enter a formula, right? Now we'll be understanding how to edit a formula. Okay. So for editing a formula, in the earlier example that we had taken, we understood that the faculty had made a mistake of editing, entering the value of Ram's physics marks instead of 76, she had entered 90. But when it was when the total was calculated using cell references, it automatically got dynamically changed to the total that he was receiving, right? But the actual values did not change. So there are three ways of editing a formula. The first simple way is by, you can see that this is the formula bar. So basically here you can see what is the formula that is beneath the cell. Okay, so here basically the faculty had changed the formula. So the formula was 76 actually. So then we'll just click on the enter button, and you can see that the total is calculated properly, right? So that's how you edit a formula in one way. Now, editing a formula in the other way is that I'll just undo whatever I did so that I can show it to guys again. So one is by using the formula bar over here. The second is just double clicking on the cell. So when you double click on the cell, whatever formula that was beneath the cell pops in front of you, right? So that's how you edit it. So now you remove 90 and replace it with 76 and hit on the enter button. So now you can see that the 430, that is the actual mark that Ram had received. Now, okay guys, a small mistake from my end. Airplane mode went on. Okay, I hope you guys can see me. Yeah. So So we were in the live workbook and we were understanding how to edit. So first way was the uh, formula bar button. The second way was double clicking. And the third way is a shortcut key, that is F2. So when you click F2, you can actually see the formula that is beneath the cell. So you can just go there, click on the backspace button and go ahead and click on the 76, right? So that's how you edit a formula. So I hope you guys have understood how to edit a formula in three ways. That is using formula bar, then using double clicking the cell, and then using a shortcut key, that is F2, right? All right. So the next objective is how to copy a formula, right? So now, if you see that when I click on the button, this is 430, right? 430 is the actual value, and this is the formula that is getting that is beneath it. Now, if I had to copy, when I say the term copy and paste, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? If you can put it on the live chat, I'll be really happy that if you if I ha we ha if you guys have the same thinking. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the term copy and paste? I'll be looking into the live chat. Exactly, guys. Exactly. Wonderful. Control C and Control V. That's what you get in your mind. I know that you guys have caught me there. So that's the exact thing that I was expecting from you guys. So Microsoft Excel also supports the Control C and Control V operation. So when we just hit the Control C operation and go to the place where you want to paste it, and you can see that Control V, it's pasting the entire thing. Now, one thing that you have to understand here is that it's not only the term 430, 430 that is getting copied. You can see that the formula is also getting copied underneath it. So if you just double click on here, even the formula is getting copied. So that's how you actually copy the formula also. Now, another way of copying is a general copying formula, that is go to the cell, click on the right mouse button, click on the copy, and go to the cell where you want to paste it and hit on the paste option, right? So here also entire formula and also the content is getting pasted, right? Now, another method that you can use to actually copy is that now if you think you have to copy a lot of things, like you have to copy the content till this number. So Control C, Control V will be a really hectic process. So what you guys can do is just scroll over this area and you can see that there is a black plus forming there. Just click on the black plus, and if you just drag it down till the cell you want it to be copied, the entire thing gets copied in one go, right? So when you see that if we do this also, the formula also getting copied into each and every cell, right? See, each and every cell has the formula that is getting copied. Now, now that we have copied the cells in the total which was calculated by the actual values. Now let's go ahead and understand what happens when we copy a cell which is dynamic in nature, that is using cell references to calculate a formula, right? So I'll go ahead and see. You can use any of the copying methods that you can use Control C, Control V, or even dragging method. I personally prefer to drag the method because it's one of the most easiest and the fastest way, right? Now I'll drag down and I'll drag down till Emma's row, right? That is the fifth row. And I'm going to leave it down. Now you'll see that when I copied here, actually I was expecting, if you guys were expecting 430, that is a general question, right? Even I was expecting 430 when I was a beginner. But what actually happened here? If anyone has any idea that what actually happened here, then please do put it in the chat. If you guys have no idea, no problem. I am there to explain it to you guys. Okay. I can't see any response, so I think you are waiting for my reply. So what actually happened here is, even when I was a beginner, even I was expecting the 430 value will be coming down. But what is the magic of cell referencing is it actually use the cell references of the scores of Ria, Mohan, and Emma to calculate the total automatically. So that's the beauty of using cell referencing. So now when I go to this place, you can see the table. This is the formula that is getting used. Now, if I double click, you can see that the total, when I copied, it copied the formula. That is the formula of using the cell referencing. So basically what happened here is Excel automatically took the values and references of what scores Ria had scored for her test and calculated the sum and printed it over here. So that's what is actually happening over here, right? Now, what happened here is the Mohan score got calculated automatically, and what happened here was Emma's score was getting automatically copied. So that is what is the beauty of using cell referencing. You can just put in the formula in the first row and just copy down, and using cell referencing method, you can actually get the formula also copied, right? Sohil Sumra, yes, exactly. The logic also copied here. Exactly. That is what the logic, that is the formula, is also getting copied here, right? So I hope you guys have understood here. So why did it not change here? Because it was copying the formula, but the formula remained the same. But when we use the cell references, the formula remained the same, but the values under this formula changed, and that's why it automatically got the sum of the scores of Ria, right? Right. So next, moving ahead, we'll be now talking about, we have understood how to enter a formula, how to copy a formula, how to edit a formula. Now we are going to hide a formula, right? So you might have done you might have found a crazy formula and you just don't want it to show it to someone else. So how do you hide the formula, right? So that's another different way to do it. Now, to hide the formula, I'll just clear out this. Right. So this is the formula that is beneath this cell, right? Now, if I had to hide the formula, first I'll have to go to format cells and check. checkbox, like click checkbox all these both options and click on the OK button. Okay, now go to the review tab, and here you can see the protect sheet. Now go to the protect sheet, hit on it, and you can set in a password according to your preference and hit on the enter button. And you just have to re-enter the password for confirmation, and that's it there. See, now this is something that many of them don't know, that your cell under which you had actually put in a formula is hidden from the third party user. See, now you can see that the cell you're trying to open is protected. So you can't, if you're giving it to someone, some findings of you, if you're doing some research and you have got values of the research onto an file, and you're sending it to your professors or friends for review, they can't just edit the formula. They need to know the password to edit it. So to avoid the situation of editing any changes in your values, you can just protect your sheet with a password. Now, in order to get back the formula to the sheet, you just have to go to the review tab, unprotect sheet, and hit on the password that you had put, and click on the enter, and you can see that the formula is back. Right? So that's how you hide a formula. So I hope you guys are very much clear till now, and let's move ahead and understand. Go to the presentation and go to the next module, that is what is a function. So uh, now that you have understood the formula, let's move ahead a step ahead and understand what is a function. So basically, a function is a predefined formula that performs calculations using specific values in a particular order, right? So basically, a function is also a formula, but it's predefined inside an Excel workbook so that it makes the task easier for the user. So if I had to calculate the sum of a few numbers, so you just have the sum formula in Excel so that you just don't have to click on the plus button each and every time. Rather, you could just hit on the sum button, sum function, and go ahead and click the range of the values that you need to add, and the sum is calculated. We'll be looking into this in the live workbook very soon with so many more functions. So there are three parts of an Excel formula, that is the equal to sign, that is one of the main indicators that the user is trying to enter a formula or a function. Then we have the arguments. Arguments are basically the range of cells wherein you want the Excel to be for doing the operation. And then we have the formula name that performs the particular calculation. Right? So that is what the three parts of the Excel formula. Right. Okay. If you guys have any doubt, please do put it on the live chat. Right. Now, coming to the part wherein how to view and search different functions provided in Microsoft Excel. So basically, you have a entire formulas ribbon that you can find in the Excel live workbook. I'll just go there and show it in the live workbook. See, if you just see in the ribbon over here, you have a formulas function where you can see a lot of functions that are here. The recently used financial, logical, date and time, lookup functions, mathematics, trigonometry, and more functions. If you're not happy with the ribbon that has been provided here, you have more functions. And if you're still not happy, if you're not still not able to find any formula that is there in your mind, you go to the insert function option thing, and search for a function is what they're asking, what Excel is asking. And if I'm a beginner, I want to add something, so I use the add function and go there and hit enter. So it's Excel tells us that add is something related to sum. So add, basically, if you want to add, you can use this sum function. Now, if you want to multiply something, so I'll just go and hit multiply, and you can see the product function comes into the picture. So that's how you can actually search for functions in Excel, right? So let's go back to our PowerPoint presentation. So that's exactly what I was talking about. If you want to search functions, you have the entire tab here, the ribbon, and more functions over here. And if you don't still find your functions, you can go to the insert function and just put on the addition or multiplication or whatever you want, and search the related function that is provided by Excel and execute your operation. All right. So now we have come to the most exciting part of the session, that is the demonstration of the basic functions of Excel. So these are the functions that each and every beginner will actually want to know when you are actually entering into the field of Excel, right? So these are one of the most exciting and also most frequently used functions that I'm going to discuss. So in the future sessions, in the next week or in the upcoming weeks, we'll be having more sessions on Excel. We'll be discussing a lot more advanced Excel functions. We'll be discussing tips and tricks, and also we'll be discussing a lot more of charts where Excel is used. So basically, Excel is a very powerful tool that every organization is like a must have in their systems, because Excel has a huge potential, and whatever you do, you need to have a very basic, good, strong skill of Excel, because that will really help you in your future in any job you go, any corporate job, or even if you are even starting up a startup, you will have to track things you'll have to track record, right? You'll have to have auditing things that will be coming in, that will be done in Excel. So now we'll be starting off with the most exciting part that I was waiting for you guys. That is the demonstration of the basic Excel function, right? Now we'll be taking the functions apart set by set. Okay, so first we'll be discussing the four function, that is the count function, sum function, min and max function. So basically, count function is counting the number of cells in a range that contains a number. So basically, here count function actually performs the function of counting whether the cell contains the number or not. So that's a very simple definition to that. Sum function adds all the number in the range of the cell in the next line. So basically it uh, adds the numbers in a range. Now coming to min function returns the smallest value, and the max function returns the highest value. Now let's move to the live workbook and understand, right? So basically here we have a data set consisting of the student's name, the first name, the last name, the scores they have achieved, and the section of which section they are studying. So basically in schools there might be a lot of sections. So here we have in this school, this is the standard 9th or 10th, you can say they have three sections, that is A, B, and C. So this was an exam, there was an exam that was conducted and one test.